Welcome. I'm EJ, the brain behind Business Brain USA. In today's video, we're going to discuss the absolute lowest cost, highest profit, virtually guaranteed way to get your side hustle on in 2022 and beyond. We'll reveal a secret hidden in plain sight that virtually no one is taking advantage of when starting a service business today. Be sure to stay until the end, because there'll be a special bonus designed to get you a more in-depth step-by-step walkthrough of the exact method I used to start two separate service businesses during the pandemic, scale them, and sell them for multiple tens of thousands of dollars. That's a huge profit in a matter of months, not years, not decades, months. And both businesses were started for less than $1,000. So why start a service business in the first place? Well, the barrier to entry is very low. As far as initial investment, like I said, I'm going to walk you through a process that'll get us there for less than $1,000. Stay with me. Inexpensive legal formation costs. Most people start as a sole proprietorship. They don't bother with an LLC or subchapter S corporation. They don't feel that they have the exposure at that point. There's really no revenue. They don't have a whole lot to lose if they're sued. They start as a sole proprietorship. The startup marketing can be virtually free if you bootstrap and you spend some time. What you're really going to need is a YouTube channel, of course, a Google My Business page, of course, a Facebook page, and an Instagram page. And then you're going to need to spend some time paying attention and showing the world that you're actually trying to engage with an audience. But that's free. That just takes time. And you can do that while you keep your day job. As far as advertising, $5 a day on Craigslist ads just to get your name out and let people know that Jerry, who's now Jerry's Plumbing, is actually in the plumbing business for money. And you'll get a few phone calls from there. That's not the primary focus of what we're going to do, but I would certainly recommend starting with $5 a day for 30 days on Craigslist just to prime the pump. And then you're going to need to let the world know that you exist. So you're going to need to go out and spend $10 on 250 basic entry-level cards from Vistaprint. They have that special running on a constant basis. I'm sure you can find it. The other reasons, it's a business that can easily be started while you keep your day job. This is not something that you're going to have to make a full-time commitment to until you feel you can make the transition and not take too many steps backward. Financially, that is. The only limit to your growth when it comes to a service business like this is your ability to recruit and train and put people in place so that you can scale your business. The number one goal initially when we start a service business, A, is to become profitable, B, is to begin to scale, and then C, scale to the point where you don't have to be working in your business on a daily basis, but you can take the time to work on your business. Meaning, you're not performing the rudimentary function of plumbing if you are Jerry's Plumbing. You have plumbers that work for Jerry's Plumbing, and you are running Jerry's Plumbing. Does that make sense? That's where we want to get you from point A to point Z. And when you are running Jerry's Plumbing, now you've created a money machine. And money machines are worth money. Believe me, a person coming out looking to purchase a business is looking to purchase something turnkey with a proven system and process that if he knows he makes an investment of multiple thousands of dollars, that investment will be returned based on the business's track record. I'm telling you, there are people who will spend lots of cash to buy an already running machine. When you own a cash-positive business and you sell it and collect a tidy profit, that's your severance pay. Cold, hard cash. So, how do you start? First, you need to decide on what it is you want to do. You need some ideas? If you take a look in the comments section below, I've listed dozens of ideas for self-employed people who want to do a service business. However, there's a note of caution. When you look through that list, if you don't see your particular vocation or your plan on what it is you want to do listed down there, this might be a good time to jump off this video. I'll tell you why. Because if your plan is not listed in the list of possible opportunities for service businesses down below, you're not going to be able to take advantage of the key secret that we're about to reveal when it comes to finding a marketing edge and putting yourself way ahead of the pack on the map in 2022. Just a note. So, check the notes for some great ideas and then decide on a name. The name should be catchy. It should be something easily recognizable, not too far-fetched as far as spelling difficulty and things like that, but you really want to see if you can get a name that's related to your business with a .com extension. When people think of businesses, they think of .com. It's just the way it is. .nets, .orgs, all that stuff, it's great, but .com is what people think. As a matter of fact, if they don't know who you are, many people guess. If you're Jerry's Plumbing, they might just start typing in jerrysplumbing.com to try to find you. Believe me, a .com is a big deal. So, you want to go on GoDaddy, that's who we use to buy our URLs, and you want to go ahead and check for whatever URL you want to use to represent your business. Buy that URL as soon as you possibly can. That's step number 1. Step number 2, you want to go ahead and pick a provider to host a very basic 3 or 4 page website that talks about your service business. Then you want to go ahead and go on Fiverr.com and find a professional to build out that website for you. You're going to provide the content, but this professional is going to go ahead and build out the actual website that describes your business and allows you to go ahead and maybe take orders, maybe pay for the service in advance, maybe schedule the service, what have you. You're the master of your domain as far as that's concerned. But when we use Wix.com, which is who we use to host our website, after we have somebody build out the actual site, Wix is what you see is what you get. Interface is just so easy to use that we can go in and make changes on the fly without too much of a hassle. So that's why we use Wix, and there's a link below. As far as Fiverr.com, we've used Fiverr literally 200 times for things, everything from generating a new logo to copywriting to voiceovers for some of our videos and the like. We love it. The idea behind Fiverr is that it brings together people who want to buy a service and people who want to sell and expertise from all over the world. So if you're fortunate enough to find somebody in a country that has a lower exchange rate against the US dollar, if you're here in the States, you're going to make out like a bandit. You're going to make out like a bandit. And just a note, everything that we're referring to today in this video are services and companies that we heartily recommend because we either have used them or currently use them ourselves right now. Also, you should be aware that we have an affiliate relationship with most all of these companies. So we will go ahead and get a small commission from these companies if you decide to sign up with them. Just a public service announcement. Do with that information what you will. So, let's get back. The next thing you need to do is you need to go ahead and get your Facebook, Instagram, Google My Business, and yes, your YouTube pages set up and populated at least to a bare minimal level. Why? Because when people are looking to do business with a business, they want to know that their business is engaged with their customer base. And the more you can show that you have an active engagement with your customer base and they have an active engagement with your business, the more social proof you will have and the easier it will be to go ahead and close deals when people call you on the phone. It's just one of those things, ladies and gentlemen, one more piece to the puzzle, but trust me, it's an important one. So you want to go ahead and get those pages set up. The next thing you want to do is you want to go ahead and contact either your lawyer, your attorney, or both to figure out what the best legal entity for you will be when starting your new business. Not everybody goes the LLC or Subchapter S route right off the bat. In many cases, people just decide to stay as a sole proprietor and list themselves with a fictitious name. However you decide to do it, there's a link below to Zoom if you don't have an attorney and you really want some advice, but you need to make a decision and you need to get that done early as opposed to later. You're going to need that information when you go ahead and open up your business checking account. Okay? After that, you're going to need to go down to town hall. You're going to tell the town clerk, hey, I'm starting a business. This is what I'm going to do. What do I need to do to become compliant with town laws and regulations? They will give you instruction. Believe me, they're well versed in starting new businesses for folks. They're going to have you fill out some forms, apply for certain licenses and permits if required, and less than $200 later, you should be able to leave town hall with a business certificate that allows you complete and unfettered access to be able to open up a business checking account in your locality. The next thing you need to do is open up a business checking account. We use an online bank called Bank Nova. They required very little as far as an opening deposit, I think $100, but they've been tremendous in that they don't charge overdraft fees and that they don't charge monthly maintenance fees. They're just a tremendous bank for startup entrepreneurs, and we highly recommend them. The next thing you need to do is figure out who's going to be processing your credit card payments. Mr. and Mrs. YouTube viewer, everyone and their grandmother uses credit cards now, or debit cards. I was recently at an outdoor event, and I handed them some cash for a candied apple, and they looked at me as if I had 17 heads. It is not the way of the world anymore. It is not what's appropriate anymore. Cash is going the way of the dinosaur very, very quickly. So, that being said, you're going to need a way for people to pay you with credit cards. We strongly suggest using Square. Easy to use, tremendous support when it comes to questions and concerns about your account, but you need to set up with a credit card service provider. What we would strongly caution is that you do not sign up with your local bank and pay anything as far as fees for the lease of a terminal or maintenance fees on a monthly basis or minimums if you don't hit a minimum and all that jazz. Stay away from it. There's no reason to get involved with a contract or an agreement like that. You can find a way around it. And we found that Square is probably one of the best end runs around high bank fees when it comes to accepting credit cards. Next, you're going to need to get a dedicated business telephone number. You don't want the phone ringing, picking up and saying hello. It just is not professional. It's so much better to know that it's a business call coming in and you can answer the phone. Hello, this is Jerry's Plumbing. Jerry speaking. How may I help you today? That sends an entirely different message to your consumer. The first 10 words that you utter in that customer's ear are more important than the next 10,000 you say. People size you up very, very quickly by your tonality, your promptness of answering the call. All kinds of things go into a customer's decision as to whether or not they want to hire you to perform the service for them. Give them the very best you got right out of the gate. And that starts with having a dedicated phone number that you can answer with a professional greeting. We use secondline.com. I believe they're less than $20 a month, so we're going to figure $20 a month for this service. Finally, you're going to need to order those business cards we talked about. Vistaprint has a deal, 250 basic cards for $9.95. If you happen to miss it, the most you'll pay for business cards is $20. Go down to Staples, order some business cards, but get your cards. Now's the time you're going to need them. Now we're ready for the money. And now you'll need to enroll in the Google Service Ads program and become Google guaranteed. But first, let's recap what we've invested so far. We purchased a URL, $20. We signed up with a web host. We use Wix, probably $30 a month. We hired an expert webmaster on Fiverr to build out our very basic website. Let's call that $100. We consulted with our attorney or our CPA, and we went ahead and talked about our business formation. Let's call that a $300 bill. Let's say that they charge us $300 for the consultation. Shouldn't be, but let's say that they do. Now we go to town hall to register our business and get our business license. We're going to say that those official documents cost us somewhere around $200. We're going to make our opening deposit on our business checking account. We're going to say it's $100. We're going to get a dedicated business phone line from secondline.com, $20. We're going to buy business cards. 250 cards should be $9.95. If not, their regular price is $20. Finally, you're going to go ahead and put together a complete list of everything you're going to need to do this first job. And if you need to go out and get last-minute consumables, nails if you're a carpenter, rags if you're a cleaner, acupuncture needles if you're an acupuncturist. Anything that you need to set yourself up to be able to do the first 1 or 2 jobs is going to come under this category. Let's say all in, those miscellaneous accessories and things that you'll need are an additional $200. If you add up everything we just discussed, you are still short of $1,000 by $10. This costs $990, and ladies and gentlemen, you are officially in business. So now we're ready for the money. Now we're ready for the sauce that makes this recipe rock. Now you'll need to enroll in the Google Service Ads program and get Google Guaranteed. Here it is. This is the secret. This is the whole enchilada. This is what you've been waiting for. What does this whole Google Guarantee thing mean? Well, I'll read you an excerpt from what Google says their commitment to their customer is once they've put their name on you and they say that you are quote-unquote Google Guaranteed. Reads like this, right off their website. If you're backed by the Google Service Guarantee and your customers that came to your business through local service ads aren't satisfied with the quality of your work, Google may, in its absolute and sole discretion, reimburse the customer for up to the amount paid for the initial service, subject to a lifetime limit. Are we all on the same page here? Did you hear what Google just said? Google said that if they go ahead and take the time to vet you, put their name on you, allow you to advertise under their local service ads program, and you have a problem with a customer that you cannot resolve, and the customer escalates their concern and makes Google aware of it, they can actually reimburse the customer for the entire cost of that service that you provided. If that's not enough to move a customer to action in your direction, assuming that you and another one of your competitors have identical stats up until that point. You both have a 4.8 rating on Google. You both have 50 actual ratings from customers on Google. Your pricing is within $5 either way of your competitor. If all they need to do is look on the Google Service Ads platform and see a check next to your name under your Google My Business listing, it's a slam dunk. Who would you hire? I would hire the guy that Google says is the guy. I would hire the guy that Google says is their guy, and so be it. So that's the program. That's what separated my two service businesses from the pack. That's what allowed me to grow so quickly and exponentially once I tapped into the power of Google. And the fact that when people end up on the Google platform, they're in the mood to buy. They're not necessarily looking to look. They're looking to make a purchase. So, what are the next steps? Well, first you have to enroll in a Google Ads account. You have to open up a Google Ads account. They don't require any money up front, but they will pay you per lead that they generate for you. And they have an entire portal where you can actually listen to the original call that the customer had with you. You can interface with that customer down the road. They record the calls. It's a pretty great program. But you need to start small with them, in my opinion. And spending $20 a day on a Google service ad may not get you a ton of phone calls, but it will let you get your feet wet so that you can now know what to expect and what your clients will expect when they call you from Google. My experience tells me when my clients call me from Google, they want the service either today or immediately. They're looking for service more than price, and they called you because you appeared near the top of the search results, and that's what happens when you spend money on the Google Local Service Ads program. So, now you know a surefire, will not fail method for creating a secure, reliable source of recurring income that you can control as a Google partner. The only thing you need to do is take action. You just need to start. Most people will watch this video once, they'll watch it again, they may even talk about it in their head to their spouse, but the worst thing that you could possibly do is not take action. And you know when people take action? When the pain of sitting where they are, as opposed to the pain that they perceive that they'll encounter if they move forward, is greater. People run further and faster away from pain than they will towards pleasure. But I'm telling you, and I can assure you, that success is almost inevitable if you take these steps and work this program. Just do the work. Just do it. It's been great sharing this with you. I'm humbled and thankful that I have this platform to reach as many people about this message that the algorithm would allow. To that end, if you feel like you've received some real value from this content, please take a moment to hit the like and subscribe buttons. It would mean the world to me, and to be honest, it would help us convince the algorithm that this message is worthwhile and to spread it even further. And if you know anyone who could benefit from this particular video and this message, please share it. They'll be thankful. If you can change someone's life by sharing a video and having them spend 15 minutes watching it, trust me, it's worth the click. Absolutely worth the click. As always, I'm looking for feedback without a filter, so please drop your comments into the comments section below. And as always, I'm humbled and grateful. Thank you so much for your time and attention. And until next time, we remain Business Brain USA.